The ideologues are amongst us. What are we doing? Today, the court is passing a legislative decision in Albany mandating vaccines. That's what today's legislative decision is about, regarding mandatory vaccinations for the residents of this great city where I've served, New York City firefighter, 6 years, put my time in, skin in the game. And it's not being covered by the mainstream media in the slightest. Strange. You would think people would want to know about legislation mandating vaccines, FEMA kicking your door down if you don't comply. What are we doing here? There's already camps in New Zealand. That wasn't given much coverage either. The people who lived in the projects were guarded by armed police force and forced to stay inside their homes. Are we seeing an evolution or de-evolution into an increased authoritarian, totalitarian police state? Well, we know that the talks of the president-elect, he's in complete support of increased lockdown measures. We see all around the world, Israel, Spain, France, UK, shutting down again. At the same time, we see these cases rising. New York City only wants to use the PCR test created by Casey Mullis, a man who has gone on record saying that he would not use the very test that he created to test for any kind of virus or biological disease because of the nature of the test itself. It merely amplifies biological material on a scale so large that, as he put it, you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. The link to that video will be in the description below. This is just stirring the conversation, getting us talking, getting us thinking, because we are all we have. Not the legislators, not the suits who think of us as simply American jobs. Oh, the people are suffering while they make $250,000 a year for the entire term of their Senate existence. They're very detached from our lives. Meanwhile, another government shutdown, more people eating through their savings, more people dying of domestic violence, more people dying of suicide, more violence, more just general societal decay. And I'm starting to think maybe more people have died from the effects of this than even the virus itself. And that starts to make me think about the larger goal of what this is, the quantitative easing, the Federal Reserve buying up all the mortgages and the loans to print more money to give more loans, but no one's taking these loans. So all that money's going back into the capital. You see the stock market's doing pretty damn well. Meanwhile, everything else is kind of crumbling, creating more gap between the haves and the have-nots. That's the point of this whole thing, you know, the eruption of the big business, the Amazon, the $600 million contract from the CIA, you know, the global. That's what's happening. The erosion of the everyday woman and everyday man. Our seeming helplessness, that narrative that is being dictated to us. But we are not helpless. We are human and we have each other. And if we see what's going on right now, we are going to have to unite. We're going to have to make our stand. Or else what? Be toppled by the inevitable tide of capitalist, authoritarian greed? It has no end. It has no conscience. The corporation is psychopathic. I'm Ram. I would love to hear your thoughts and discussions below. Anything is better than nothing. And you are not a conspiracy theorist if you simply conspire against the main narrative. That is a psychological operation to invalidate your own ability to understand through inquiry, to erode our ability to have confidence in what we can read with our own eyes.